For Pacific, when a woman is pregnant, there's almost a sacredness that's afforded the mom. She receives special treatment, afforded special care from everyone around them in the family. And in fact, you know, when I think about Pacific cultures, we're often accused of being too patriarchal. But when it comes to pregnancy and raising children, this is one domain where a lot more attention is given to the mother. And there are spiritual connotations stemming from both cultural and religious beliefs. Children are certainly seen to be the present manifestation of a long ancestral lineage. You know, they have connections to not just their living family, but, you know, our ancestors. They're also, you know, in terms of religious beliefs, they're seen as a blessing from God. So pregnancy itself, you know, and motherhood has a certain, you know, connotation there around being from God. And so on the one hand, these core beliefs really determine this nuanced way in which we treat mothers and women, pregnant women. But on the other hand, there's a lot of current societal pressures on women and families that's just not conducive to enabling these core belief systems to play out. And so we can be accused of over-romanticizing these beliefs. But in fact, the shifts in the societal expectations on mothers today, they've shifted considerably, and they're much more aligned to, I guess, these capitalist societies that we live in and the way we need to live just to survive. And so I guess when I think about perinatal mental health, I do have to step back and consider, you know, from a Pacific viewpoint, all of these other contextual things that can impact on the way we hold that responsibility as a mother and as a carer, as well as just as an individual, as a human being that has a right to health and wellness. Having worked in the Growing Up in New Zealand study, we did see that Pacific women during pregnancy had the lowest rates of diagnosed depression by a clinician, but when they applied the EPDS tool, Pacific women displayed the highest rates of depression symptoms right across compared to other ethnic groups. And so, you know, we will conclude from that there's significant underreporting amongst our mothers, and there's a lot of women who are no doubt suffering alone, and who firstly would require that extra help to help them make sense and understand that what they're experiencing and feeling is not related to them being an inadequate mother first, and that there are actually causal pathways that have no bearing on something they've done or haven't done. But not only are they experiencing these direct symptoms of depression and anxiety, it's mixed in with the guilt and shame that comes from them not meeting their obligations to their family and the communities they work and so on. So again, with the societal expectations, not to mention family expectations, these do create this reinforcing environment to just compound all these issues. The other thing that I was thinking of too is that there's also a level of framing of depression that we do that as a measurable construct that doesn't quite align with the way that Pacific women perceive our world and our day-to-day. So some of our Pacific mental health clinicians are probably so much better at identifying those who are at risk, you know, simply because we have this better understanding of some of the triggers and some of those expectations, you know, across different settings that may make us much more vulnerable to depression and anxieties, and also thinking that, you know, we should do better at identifying how we do pick up some of these symptoms among our Pacific communities.